Hey, Anna. So I was just looking at this report, and it's pretty wild. It seems like hackers are getting really brazen, especially with critical infrastructure, like Canada, right? What's going on up there? Oh, absolutely, Stella. It's alarming. The Canadian Centre for Cybersecurity warns of opportunistic attacks. We're talking hackers messing with water utility pressure valves, manipulating automated tank gauges, and even grain drying silos. It's a probe into essential services designed to, erode public trust. Wow, that's intense. So it's not just about stealing data, it's about disruption, right? Causing chaos? Exactly. It's less about a catastrophic attack and more about creating a stir, highlighting vulnerabilities. Officials said industrial systems really shouldn't be exposed like this. Speaking of vulnerabilities, I also saw something about Sweden's power grid. That sounds really bad.
Yeah, you're totally right to be concerned. Sweden's state-owned power grid operator is investigating a data breach by Everest ransomware, who claimed 280 gigabytes. Good news, though, power supply wasn't actually impacted. Everest is notorious for data extortion. Pretty serious stuff. And then, get this, an Australian guy, Peter Williams, pleaded guilty to selling U.S. defense secrets to a Russian broker for crypto. Wild, right?
Wild, right? Just pure espionage, you know? It really shows how varied these threats are. So, moving on, I also saw something about F5, that application security vendor. They had a pretty serious nation-state issue, right?
Oh, absolutely, Stella. F5 is actually projecting a revenue dip because of a nation-state hack, later linked to China. Attackers had long-term access to their development systems for ages, stealing source code and research specifically for their big IP product line. It impacted a small percentage of their 23,000 customers, but still, that's a lot of companies. It's really concerning.
Wow, so actual source code stolen by a nation-state. That's a huge deal for a security company.
Totally. It really highlights how sophisticated and persistent these threats are, you know? Even major players aren't immune.
Speaking of big players, those Gmail breach rumors that were floating around, were they actually true? Oh, that was a huge kerfuffle, but Google quickly debunked it, thank goodness. Basically, it stemmed from a misunderstanding about info stealers, which are these malware programs that grab credentials from all over. Troy Hunt from Have I Been Pwned found 16.4 million new email addresses in a compiled dataset, but it wasn't a direct Gmail breach. It was just credentials circulating from other compromises that people were confusing with a direct Google hack. So not a direct Google problem, but still, people's credentials out there from other places. Still a worry then, right? Absolutely. Always be vigilant with your passwords, and unique ones everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Always. So what other interesting tidbits came up in this breach roundup? Okay, so there's Phantom Raven, a large-scale supply chain attack. It targets developers with malicious NPM packages, using slop squatting to mimic legitimate projects. These packages steal authentication tokens, CI/CD secrets, and GitHub credentials. Developers download what they think is a useful tool and boom, compromised.
Wow, that's so sneaky. Any other big enterprise or government threats?
Yeah, Dentsu confirmed a breach at their U.S. subsidiary, Merkle, stealing employee and client data. And Pakistan-linked APT36 launched a spear phishing campaign against the Indian government using new desk rat malware. It's just constant, evolving threats everywhere you look, you know? For more, visit franksworld.com, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.